Hi, this is Ramu, Associate Professor, Department of CSC, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. In today's class, we are going to concentrate on structure. So, what is a structure and how the structures are different from the arrays? See, structure. Structure is a heterogeneous data type. That is the main difference between the arrays and structure. Arrays is a homogeneous, means all the items should be the same type. Then it's called as a homogeneous. Coming to the heterogeneous, the data is of various types. For example, if you consider only integer 100 values, then you can go for the arrays. But for example, if you want to store the one person details, see, person has a weight, name, address, all are the different types of data types, right? Those situations, structures will work. See, the definition of the structure. Structure creates a data type that can be used to group of items possible of different types. If you are going to work with the different types, then you can opt structure, right? The syntax of the structure. The structure start with the keyword called struct. Observe carefully. Struct. Struct is the keyword. By using struct keyword, you are going to create the structure. And the structure name. What is the name you are going to create? For example, student or person or a product, whatever it may be, right? And the fields of the structure. So data type 1, data type 2, data type 3 means the different types of data types. If you consider the example, see, address is the one structure. The address contains name, street, city, right, state, pin. All are comes under the address field. Yes or no? All the fields are required in the address. So if you want to handle these different types, so normally our arrays are not work in this case, right? If you want to create heterogeneous type of data, the real-time applications, so most of the real-time applications are going to use structures only because no product contains the same type. For example, if you want to store the book details, book contains name, price, right, and the author address or author biography. All are the different types, right? Price comes under the float and names comes under the string. Both are the different types. That kind of situations, it doesn't work. Is this clear? So structure is a collection of heterogeneous data or different types of items is called as a structure. See, coming to the initialization. If you want to initialize the structure, observe carefully. For example, the address field contains the two things. What are they? Name, state, and pin. See, name is a comes under the string, and the state is also comes under the string, and pin is the integer. If you want to initialize the data, see, observe clearly. Struct address of A, and you should give the order which you mentioned here. See, first one is the name. This is the name, right? And next one is the state, and next one is the pin. This is the order you need to take, right? So don't shuffle your order because the data which you define, the order should be the order, whatever the order you have initialized, same order you need to initialize the data. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Next, if you observe the accessing, how to access the data using dot operator. Please note this: using dot operator. Using dot operator, you are going to access the data. Structure name dot. See, for example, if you want to access this, address dot name. So A is a structure variable name. This is a structure name. This is a structure name, right? This is the structure name, right? And this is the structure variable. Structure variable. Structure variable. If you want to access the data, you should use a structure variable dot of the field. Which field you want? For example, name or state or pin. See how it is going to store the data. If you observe clearly, see, it is going to allocate the memory like this. See, first one is the name. Name contains 50 bytes. And state contains 20 bytes. And pin contains, what is the integer size? 4 bytes. Right? So this is the name. And this is the state. And this is the pin. Right? So what is the size of the structure? if you observe the size of the structure, what is the total size? 50 plus 20 plus 4. Totally, its cost is 74. Size of the structure is 74. Right? 74. Let us see in the DevC how it is going to work. Right? With a small example. Here, I want to create one structure, right? You know, structure name. If you want to create a structure, you require the keyword. There is a struct. See, struct, struct is a keyword. What is the data you're going to use? Address, right? And the fields are care of name of 10 or 20, whatever it may be. You can take as you wish. Next, int, pin. Right? If you want to create a structure, please note this should end with a semicolon. If you want to create a structure variable, you can create the structure variable in the various ways. See, either you can use here also, see, A. A is a structure variable. Please note this. A is a structure variable. If you want to assign the values, here name is there, right? If you want to assign a name, so you should use a string copy, right? Otherwise, string you are not going to copy into the data, right? String copy, it is not possible. Yes or no? So if you want to apply, see, strcpy, string copy of, see, a dot name, comma, so IARE. For example, if you run this code, see, now data is copied. Next, what are you going to do? A dot pin equal to, so 50043, right? Our college pin code. If you want to print the data, print f of %d, %yes, %d, right? If you want to access a dot name, right? And comma a dot pin. See, if you run this code, yes, I forgot to use a semicolon here, right? Yes. Now, this is the data we have given. Yes or no? This is the one way, initializing the data, right? So here you can initialize first pin code after name also it will accept. The name also it will accept. See, if you run this code, you will get the same data. But if you want to create the variable, for example, see, A is not here. If you are going to create the struct global variable of address of A equal to C. Same. Should use IRE and you should use pin is 50043. Now you can delete this one because these two are not required. You assign the data, right? If you run this code, observe carefully. If you run this code, yeah, what is an error? Yes, so it's not there. Yes, IRE. This is clear. For example, if I change the order, see, comma IRE. Now you just try to see. Initialization elements is not compatible as a load time. See, this should be order same as the order which you have given. Is this clear? Now tell me what is the size of the structure? What is the size of the structure? What is the size of the structure? So if you want to know the size of the structure, %d, right? Size of A is a variable of address variable, structure variable, right? So what is the size? Observe carefully. What is the size of this name? So it is size of 10. Next, what is the size of pin code? Yes, it is a 4 bytes because string. sorry, integer, right? So 14 bytes. See, if you run this code, 16 bytes. Why? Why it is a 16 bytes? Tell me. Why it is a 16 bytes? Tell me. Right? So it is a 16 bytes. Why? Actually, it's a 4, right? It is a 4, right? For example, if you consider this, then tell me what is the size of this structure? Yes, I'm going to remove this one. Yes, tell me what is the size of this structure? Yes, 8 bytes, right? 8 bytes. Why it is 8 bytes? Why it is an 8 bytes? Tell me. So if you remove the name, you run this code, what is the size of this? 4 bytes, right? For example, if you take care of name, so it's 8 bytes. It is going to take the 8 bytes. So care of name of, see, name of 2 characters. I'm going to take the 2 characters. Then what is the size of this? 8. So it is going to the 4 characters. See, still it is going to show the 8 only. If you consider 9 characters, sorry, 5 characters. 5 characters means generally, please observe here. Please observe here. So, please observe here. So, integer contains 4 bytes, right? Right? And the pin contains 4 bytes. But here you take the 5. 5 means it is going to take the 8 bytes. So, now we will get the 12. Observe carefully. It is going to display the 12 bytes. Right? Yes or no? 12 bytes. The reason is it is going to store only multiples of 4. It is going to store only multiples of 4. Multiples of store. Even it is going to take 5 bytes. 5 bytes means, so what is the multiples of next value? It's 8 only, right? It is 8 only. That is why. Is this clear? This is only compiler dependent. So it is going to change from compiler to compiler. But why it is a 4? Why it is a 8 means? So 5 bytes means it is going to take the 5 bytes. It is not a multiples of 4. What is the upper value? Upper value is 8. Right? If you are going to take that, this value is 9. Now tell me what is the output? 9. 9 means, so 8. Next upper value is 12 only, right? 12 only. So next multiples of value is 12 only. 12 plus 4. So value is 16. Value is 16. See, if you run this code, 16 is the output. Yes or no? Sir, what happened if I use a float here? Float of B. Now what is the output here? Tell me. What is the size of float? 4 bytes, right? 4 bytes, right? And this size is 4 bytes. That is the reason. For example, if you consider double. Now tell me what is the size of this variable? You run this code, 16 bytes. Why 16 bytes? Why it is 16 bytes? Tell me. Generally, see, this compiler is going to take like that. See, the size of this is 8 bytes. 8 bytes, right? If you use integer, 12 bytes, right? 12 bytes. Yes or no? 12 bytes. That is the reason. Is this clear? But the interview point of view, simply what you are going to do. Interview point of view, don't depend on the compiler. So if you run the same program in your system, you get a different size. But you forgot about the thing. You just know the double size is 8 bytes, right? Plus, what is the size of int? So 4 bytes. Answer is 12 bytes. You can consider like this only. For example, you have a data like this. Char of name of 10, right? Int of A, right? Float of B. Then what is the size of the structure means you simply calculate this value is 10, this value is 4, and this value is 4. So output is 18 bytes. You can calculate like that only. Okay, don't consider this multiples of 4. So why it is showing me? This is the architecture dependent. Right? Is this clear? So this is the way you're going to create a structure, and this is the way you're going to accessing the structure. Okay? Is this clear, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.